What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is MP with MP Talk Sports, and we are going into NFL Week 14. So last week, Week 13, we had an okay Thanksgiving. I went 2 for 2. I had 2 wins, 2 losses, but on Sunday was just atrocious. I had 6 bets, and I only won one of them, and that was Ramondre Stevenson over 50 and a half rush yards. He ended up with 18 carries for 73 yards. And the Patriots took another devastating loss. They decided to go for that, I think it was 68-yard field goal at the end, and it was just short. So, again, devastating Sunday for us Patriots fans. And so we didn't get the anytime touchdown of Ramondre Stevenson, but we did get his over rush yards. Next game was the Atlanta Falcons money line, and Kirk Cousins just pissed me off. I mean, he threw like 4 interceptions. One of them was a pick six. He did not play anywhere near what he should have played in that game. That was just awful performance by him, and we didn't get Atlanta money line. The next game was the game that I talked so much shit about. I talked so much shit about Jacksonville not being able to get anywhere close to Houston, and they did. Even with Mac Jones in, Trevor Lawrence left the game with less than 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and he took that awful hit when he was trying to give himself up on that scramble. Now, there was a lot of talks going on about, was this an intentional hit by the defender? Was it, just a dirty play? Did Trevor slide too late and the defender had to react? Either way, you don't want to see anybody get hurt like that. Especially, I mean, the second he got hit, you could tell when his arms all stiffened up and stuff that he had a head injury. And one of the things that Tom Brady was talking about, which makes sense, was that the NFL should be penalizing the quarterbacks for just as much as they penalize the defenders, because quarterbacks they do these fake slides, and then the defender backs off and then they're able to continue to go, or they slide too late and then everybody expects the defender not to react. I mean, either way, I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence. That sucks that it's his first game back and he got laid out like that. But it makes sense. There's all these rules against all these rules to be able to protect the quarterbacks, but then they just take it to their advantage, and fake slide and slide late and expect the defenders to lay off. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to send a message like, "You ain't gonna do that shit. I'm still gonna come after you. Don't do late slides on me." I don't know. But either way, that sucked. I even forget the guy's name, but I think he got suspended for like 3 games for that. And that was another thing, like why is he suspended for 3 games when he's never been a dirty player? I don't know. Either way, I think it was just because it looked so terrible. It looked awful, and he was down for a while, and then everybody just brawls right after it. So, but the last one was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They did get that win in overtime. They just didn't cover the number. So for week 14, I have 6 more bets, and I'll be talking about just those games. So let's get into it. For tonight, Thursday night, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. The line is at 3 in favor of Detroit, and the total is at 51.5 points. Detroit has won 5 of their last 5 games, and Green Bay has won 4 of their last 5 games, with their only loss being against Detroit. And that game didn't have good weather conditions. It was in Green Bay. It was raining. It was windy. For the quarterbacks, the Goff went 18 for 22, 145 yards and 1 touchdown. Love went 23 for 39, 273 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But both teams, they have a lot to play for in this game. Detroit, if they win, they'll clinch a playoff spot, and would have won 11 straight games. And if Green Bay wins, they'll be just 1 game behind Detroit. I do think that Green Bay should be able to slow down the run here a little bit in this game. Not by much, but I do think that they slow it down. And I also feel like because uh, Detroit is going to be at home, they'll be inside. Love might struggle a little bit here. I think Goff will have a better game than him. He's at home. This is where they thrive. Um, so I took Detroit minus the points, and I also took the under at 51.5 points. I do feel like they may get close to this, but I just don't see it going over. So I took Detroit minus the points and the under at 51.5 points. Next game, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The line is at 6.5 in favor of Pittsburgh, and the total is at 43.5 points. Now, these teams just played each other 2 weeks ago, and the score in that game was 19-24, Cleveland. Now, after that game, it was snowing in that game. It was coming down. It wasn't snowing in the beginning, but then it just started coming down throughout the game. And George Pickens was complaining about it. He was basically saying that the only reason why that they lost was because of the snow. And just dogging on Cleveland, saying that they were a shit team, basically. So, I don't know. Cleveland could come out and just be like, F this guy, we're going to beat him again. Or Pittsburgh comes out in a revenge spot. But Russell Wilson went 21 for 29, 270 yards and 1 touchdown. Jameis Winston went 18 for 27, 219 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception in their last matchup. But last week, Jameis Winston played Denver, and he threw 2 pick sixes, and he threw an interception on the last possession that was a 1st and goal. This guy, I just feel like he's just too inconsistent. I don't trust it. I don't see Pittsburgh losing to them twice. And I also think that they cover here. So I took Pittsburgh minus 6.5 points. Next game is the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. The line is at 5.5 in favor of Miami, and the total is at 45 points. This has been such a letdown year for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is just not the same guy that he used to be. I mean, last week, they should have won that game. They were up like 21-0, and they had touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, and then they just stopped. Their last touchdown was a 99-yard return, and then the offense just stopped after that. Then Rodgers threw a pick 6. They had turnovers on downs. I think they had a few fumbles. It was just it's just awful for the Jets. The Jets are just not. They should have won that game. And Miami took that loss last week against Green Bay in that cold night game. But they're at home. This is where Tua does better. Tua can't play in the cold. He does way better at home. They should easily cover this number. I took Miami minus 5.5 points. Next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans. The line is at 3 in favor of Tennessee, and the total is at 39.5 points. So, Mac Jones will be starting for the Jaguars here. Jacksonville has lost their last 5 games, but they covered in 4 of them. They covered against Houston, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Green Bay. Their only huge loss was to Detroit, where they just got slaughtered in that game. It was 52-6. But Mac Jones started against Minnesota, where they covered, and he finished against Houston, where they covered. And he also threw for 2 touchdowns last week. So Tennessee did take a big loss to Washington. Westbrook-Ikhine has been a good weapon for them. He's scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. But I just don't see Tennessee laying the points here at all. I think that I ate my words last week, and I feel like, Tennessee was favored against New England, and they didn't by 3, I think, and they couldn't even cover that. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I feel like Mac Jones does something here, and I took Jacksonville plus the points. Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams. The line is at 4 in favor of Buffalo, and the total is at 49.5 points. This seems like a super short number, especially since Buffalo has been dominating. They are on a 7-game winning streak. As of right now, they do have a few offensive players listed as questionable. It's Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, and Curtis Samuel. But I would imagine that they do play in this game. The Rams rank 26th against the run, and Buffalo likes to run. They rank 7th in rush attempts per game. So Josh Allen is Josh Allen. I mean, that guy can use his legs. The Buffalo also has James Cook and Ray Davis that are doing all right. I just don't see how Buffalo doesn't cover in this game. So I took Buffalo minus the points. So thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Hopefully we do well this weekend. Like I said, we have 6 bets. But please, everybody, bet responsibly. Again, thanks for watching. I'm MP, and this is MP Talk Sports.